It's the moment of truth. Will the engine start?
We diagnosed it's not the battery, it's not the engine, it's the starter. Is that port side?
Yeah.
Yes!
So we're good, yeah. The cleaning of the little connections, plugging it back in. Yay! No new parts needed. Well, we'll get a spare just in case. Okay, cool.
Anchors away, my
Maybe not.
Slimy. Oh, yeah.
We are taking off, hitting the sea, and I am so excited because we are leaving the Marquesas and heading to the Tuamotus, which is hands down like the most exciting part so far for me, because it is, I've not really ever been to an atoll, and it's supposed to just be stunning and fantastic scuba diving and snorkeling and amazing. And I'm really trying not to get my hopes up too high, but I think we're already past that. But anyway, we're going to the Tuamotus. I should pay attention.
So I have this line here attached to the shackle for one reason only, to hold the anchor, because we're going on a longer offshore passage. We don't want to lose the anchor. If something happens, you know, the waves could get bad, knock the anchor loose. This line will, in theory, keep us from losing the anchor. At least that's the plan. Just a little bowline knot and we're good to go.
Jason is over there getting our reefing set up, because we're gonna go ahead and start with 2 reefs in the main. Because if you remember, the pin on our Traveler broke. Houston, we have a serious problem.
Basically, this entire piece just ripped straight out of the Traveler. And the Traveler is the only thing that can hold the boom.
Yeah. And so our boom was wildly out of control. But our friend had a replacement part. We kind of rigged it up, but it's compromised, so we don't trust it all the way.
You know, it's a whole jerry-rig system, but I'm pretty satisfied.
It's gonna get us to Tahiti,
yes.
And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I just found a washer. Uh-oh.
Hold on.
We don't need that.
So we are going to sail.
Double reefed.
And very conservative.
And we've got like 20 knots, 20 plus knots of wind. We think.
Set my sails on fire and watch my vessel sink. 'Cause I've seen the shores of every tide, but I still wished I was in your sea.
Wow, that is pretty.
I had buried my wandering heart deep into the earth. 'Cause when we were mountain tops apart, oh how I long for your vanity.
Do it like you mean it.
Anywhere I run, I can see the sun. 'Cause you are the light in my eyes, in my eyes. Anywhere I go, I can feel your soul burning like the stars in the sky, in the sky. And I
known as the dangerous archipelago. And it's known that because a lot of ships have, well, wrecked there on the reefs, because it is just a whole string of atolls. And an atoll, if you don't know what one is, used to be an above sea volcano that has receded into the ocean, and all that is left is just the top rim of the volcano, and it is now all coral reefs. It's an incredibly cool aerial view. It is an interesting habitat, but because it is low-lying, it is, well, invisible at night just about. So you want to sail that area during the day, we need to be able to see the reef so we don't hit it. Which means we've had to do a decent amount of planning for this particular passage to make sure that we arrive during daylight hours before we get to the Tuamotus, which is the perfect opportunity to tell you how we planned our trip. So the first thing I do is bring up my chart, and I type in my route. The island that we're headed to is called Makini. It's the first atoll that we get to between the Marquesas and the Tuamotus. And as I scroll around, I can see there's not really any obstacles, no other reefs, islands, or atolls between, well, us and the first atoll. And now that I've got a route punched in, I can see that it is 469 nautical miles. Now, I go to predict wind because I need to look at the weather. I've typed in my waypoints, the GPS points, and I can see that we are going to have about 12 to 18 knots of wind, and it looks like it's going to be coming directly on our beam or beam reach for most of the sail, which means 12 to 18 knots on a beam reach, we should easily be able to sail 5, 6, 7 knots, but we are double reefed, so I'm not really sure exactly how great our speeds will be, so I'm going to calculate for all three of them. Figure out our arrival time, I take our 469 nautical miles divided by our speed, which would be 5 knots. And if I look at that, we left on Thursday at noon. And if we sail at 5 knots, that would put us in Monday at 10 a.m. Be good timing. If we travel at 6 knots, puts us in Sunday at 6 p.m. That's a little late. If we travel at 7 knots, we arrive Sunday at 7 a.m., which is perfect, again. So we either need to travel at 5 knots or 7 knots, but definitely not at 6, or somewhere in between. But we really won't know until we're closer to our destination. So we'll keep chugging along, we'll calculate each day how many nautical miles we have left, and keep looking at our arrival time. So that way, within a day, we can really start to fine tune. We can slow down or speed up as we need to make sure that we arrive at the proper time. And that is how we have planned our passage to the dangerous archipelago. Feel like I need like a man's voice there. It's really intimidating. The dangerous archipelago.
Maybe echo.
Ooh, yeah. We're traveling to the dangerous archipelago. Go. No, that doesn't sound scary. Oh well.
Salad eating cat.
Salad eating cat. Oh, you love your lettuce. Coconut oil, sweet potatoes, zucchini, all grown in the Marquesas. And a little blackening seasoning here. Little lemon olive oil, aged balsamic, sea salt, extra ground pepper. Throw in this lovely tomatoes. A lovely vegetarian plate. Produce and baguette, all from the Marquesas, but lovingly made by me. Do you think you're going to be able to sleep?
It's probably the most difficult job on passage.
For you.
Trying to sleep.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, I can sleep. My belly's full, the sun's out, I'm hot. The boat is rocking. Nighty night.
There you go. I'll keep an eye on you. If you get hit on the beam too hard, you may get smacked in the face with a grapefruit or a mango.
I can think of worse things.
I can too. Okay.
Good night.
Sleep tight.
Anywhere I run, I can see the sun. 'Cause you are the light in my eyes, in my eyes. Anywhere I go, I can feel your soul burning like the stars in the sky, in the sky. And I'm like, lights on, maybe start a fire. Don't you know that I'm coming home? Oh, for good this time.
Technically, this is a no-no for nighttime, but our choices are the wind's dying, we can fly the spinnaker, motor, or put this preventer on. And this seems like the safest thing to do. Basically, it's going to keep the boom over, and since we're losing wind, it's just slamming, and we don't trust the traveler. We don't trust it at all, because it's not 100%. So, if the wind was to pick up, we'd have to remove this preventer, and then center the main. But it's double reefed, so
Yeah, it's not a big
this
deal.
is not that scary. It's a little scary.
No.
Anywhere I run, I can see the sun. 'Cause you are the light in my eyes, in my eyes. Anywhere I go, I can feel your soul burning like the stars in the sky, in the
That
sky.
is Nuka Hiva there, sort of disappearing out into the background. We won't see it again.
Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up and share it with a friend. It helps us out tremendously. And if you're curious about the griddle I used in the kitchen, the sailing apps I mentioned, or even the cameras that we're filming this episode with, then check out our website. I have listed it all out there, along with additional notes.
The winds are picking up. It's gonna be an exciting night.
It is going to be. Well, we'll save that for next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye!
It's going to be an exciting night.
Yeah.
The waves are growing.